Hi, this is Cecilia from Tarot by Cecilia, and today is Wednesday, December 28th, 2016. The tarot card for today is the Five of Wands. Now, even though it's not where I am until tomorrow, I'm going to say new moon blessings anyway, because for the majority of people, the new moon actually occurs on the 29th, but for a few of you, it will be very late in the day on the 28th. Talk about this Five of Wands, okay? Because it's sort of, in a way, continuing with yesterday's theme with the Three of Pentacles, where we were talking about teamwork and getting everybody on the same page. And as you can see in this card, everyone really is not. Sometimes there is a bit of a struggle getting people to cooperate, getting things to go smoothly. Honestly, I just have to say it's not quite time is probably the best way that I can put it. And if people are at odds, you certainly don't want to be a contributor. And that's one of the reasons that I brought up the new moon, even though it's basically a day early. And we talk about this all the time. It's especially important to watch what you say. Like those little zingers, jabbing at other people, that type of thing. Sometimes it leads into full-blown confrontation, and then people are not getting along. So it's better to curb it ahead of time and just keep that in mind. So if others are kind of, you can feel that tension around a situation, just try to avoid it if you can. If you don't need to be a part of it, you're definitely better off. And there are those who obviously are operating out there without a spiritual clue, I suppose you could say, an astrological clue of any type. And, they never stop to pay attention to the fact that they're more disagreeable, when there's a new moon, a full moon, and all of that. So the only thing you can do is be aware and choose not to engage. That's the most important thing. That puts down conflict and prevents it most of the time. So it's better to avoid it. And that would be a good thing, because right now, with Mercury retrograde, the things that people say, they may not come out the way they're meant. So if you have a lot of people misconstruing things that are happening and are being said, ooh, what you have? Yeah, you have more conflict. So sometimes it's just wiser to be quiet. And like I said, do not engage. Don't get involved in the situation. If you are in a position where you're able to bring people together and get them to work cohesively, that's a wonderful thing, because this card can also represent that energy. But when it comes to the change that it represents, the fives always have so many struggles involved with them, and they're just not, things aren't quite right in the fives, so it's that idea of things may not be everybody working at the same level. So communication may go a little off, whatever. Pay close attention. You don't have to be a part of it. That really is the most important thing to remember. So if everybody else is jumping in on the foray, you don't have to be there. And at the very least, you can try to smooth it over, maybe make things better. So anyway, we're coming up on the new moon, and it's time to get your intentions together. Many will want to make New Year's resolutions. I'm not a big believer, okay, because I think we always place our goals a little too lofty for what we want, and it should be very basic. And I think, especially with this Capricorn new moon, trying to work it out, what we can realistically do in a very earthy fashion. So I want to thank you all for listening, and I'll see you here again tomorrow. And as always, have a great day.